I suppose your son is only hope. We have to at least try to help him. Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious. When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood! When I...
Jolie, what are you doing here?
Laura sent me, Summary. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkled butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Eliza there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic Intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Eliza into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Eliza was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my heroes cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Selkath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offworlders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, At. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me. You should ask everyone. Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Selkath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offworlders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But anything... Once you...
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after... What do you... Well...
You with the Selkath? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you... Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics, usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith Master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Well, one time, I saw Alasa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alasa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me. I was in my room, minding my own business with the latest copy of Pazak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw Glupor in the hall by Elas's room, and Sunry running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty. Yes.
Chiki kun selka, Jona mulira ton Glupor kimba no kun nek lorcha. Glupor ton hit wanaji selkat agi inko tune, Glupor mulira, Jona mulira, tonk Glupor kipa non kun nek sit abon. Glupor yon tun chiwi ita, pola un chikne mulira Glupor, kon muli slimo puli wanga kun viskin. Glupor kimba nikcha lora kun. Glupor picha ge borang turang, Glupor wangki yuma patmalyo no wish, Glupor no una pakpa, mulira kon in. Kun mulira slimo poi wanga kun makachisa Glupor. Tong abog sinshan Glupor ni nong kili, Glupor chiwaka aita kan kicha na selkat. Glupor nibo, mulira Glupo ni umsit. Glupor sha, Glupor pampa ki mulira kun kin. Glupor chachopa, si chawa wish kun. Glupor bagra shak konti cha yoman. Tong itselkat wama jiko na. Glupor ag inkotune, Glupor no molira, chuna mulira, tongpa no kun, no nek, Glupor chachopa, Glupor bagwa shank konti machid Glupor nada chawa ishun
Jedi, I hear you're investigating the Sunray murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunray and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Yes?
Greetings once again. Should the Selkath obtain proof of what occurred down there, the consequences for the Republic would be severe. For both our sakes, I hope you are smart enough to keep silent on this matter. Truth be told, I'm uncomfortable even with us being seen together. The rumors are already plentiful enough among the Selkath about the Republic's role in this. I don't know much about the facts of the case, but I find it hard to believe. I never met Sunry, but he's a hero of the Republic, not a murderer. The so-called evidence against him is an obvious frame-up. It has to be. The Sith must have plotted Sunry's downfall to embarrass and discredit the Republic. If you want to solve this mess, I would focus on the Sith. That or check out the murder scene at the hotel. Talk to the other guests. Maybe they know something. I regret I could not be of more assistance in your investigation. Is there anything else? You mean you sliced into our... That is a very serious crime. We could have you executed for treason if that information causes any harm. But I may just be willing to overlook this transgression if you never tell another living being about it. And that is all I will ever tell you on the matter. I don't know much about the facts of the so-called evidence against... The Republic? That makes no sense. Sunry has no enemies in the Republic, and his conviction will make all of our jobs more difficult. If you want to solve this mess, I would focus on the Sith. That or... I regret I could not... Then I shall...
Got something on your mind, dude? I don't want to talk about that. Yes, you do. You may mean well enough, but my private affairs are just that. Private. Let me tell you something. Once you've lived as many years as I have, you'll have yourself a long, long list of memories. If you're lucky, most of them will be good. If you're not, some will be bad. If you're really unlucky, some will be so bad you'll never want to be reminded of them again, ever. You'll go far away to a place that doesn't hold any memories at all. And there you'll be happy just to forget and be forgotten. Say that now, but I'm talking to you from across the breadth of many years' experience. That is a gap I simply can't cross for you. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in love? Truly in love, I mean, and not simple infatuation. Exactly. You're still at the beginning of your life. There will be women in your life, perhaps many women. But if you're fortunate, you'll find love once. The Jedi, with their damnable sense of over-caution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear, and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you. Listen to me go on as if I had all the answers. What do I know of love anymore? I'm just a lonely old man who's not even a Jedi. Maybe. Do you want to avoid the greatest things in life simply because they come with some complications? Love causes pain, certainly. Inevitably, love is going to lead to as much sorrow and regret as it does joy. I suppose there are perfect, eternal loves out there, but I haven't seen any. And how do you deal with the bad part of love is what determines your character. What determines the dark side's hold over you. Life without risk is boring. Is that how you want to live? You want love, you've got to fight for it. I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you and the one you love simply aren't meant to be together. The trick is to know when that is. To know when it's time to fight and when it's time to part ways. There I go, waxing philosophical again. Somebody blast me already. Let's get going before I start talking in riddles, damn it. Got something on... What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I knew. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Or so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. Well, I don't expect much these days.
Sure.
And you need?
Joey, coming to check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four bare walls. But I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role of arbiter cannot be taken lightly. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith when I turned Alasa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it further. They say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. I hope you can see how anything else I can... Go ahead, ask. No, what this must look like, yes. Yes, we were having an affair. I know it was wrong, but I'm a weak man. Alasa was beautiful and young. How was I to resist her charms? But I didn't kill her. I loved her. Please. I know I made a terrible mistake getting involved with Alasa, but I was going there to break it off with her. I did it, but found out later that she was dead. I don't deserve to go to jail just for having an affair, do I? You have to help me prove that I wasn't the killer. Go ahead, ask. A Rhodian? I didn't know there were any Rhodians on Manan. Oh, except for Tybark and this one named Glupar who was hanging around the hotel all the time. Okay, so maybe there are a whole bunch of Rhodians on Manan. But what does that matter? If he planted evidence at the scene, it's a clear sign of a frame-up. He probably took all the evidence of the real killer at the same time. The evidence of a Sith conspiracy keeps getting stronger, doesn't it? I suspect there's still stuff you want to clear up. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. Truth is out. I never meant to kill her, you know. When I found out she was a Sith spy using me to gain information, that something inside me just snapped. She didn't know I had found out. So I waited until she fell asleep. And then I killed her. Simple, really. But once I realized what I'd done, I panicked. I contacted those spies from the Republic to help me. Found the illegal monitoring device that the Sith had planted in the room, altered its recording to hide my part in it, and cleared up the evidence. I figured that was the end of it. The Sith must have been spying on me and Alasa, trying to make sure she wasn't a double agent. They must have seen the Republic spies getting rid of all the evidence, so they planted their own evidence. Alasa must have stolen that hero's cross from me long ago and given it to her Sith masters like some kind of trophy. I just thought I'd misplaced it. But when the cross turned up on her body, I knew the Sith had put it there. So, now you know the whole story. What are you going to do?
But Sunry is a murderer. I'm sorry, old friend, but you are. I can't approve of this. You go ahead, however, if that's what you think is best.
I'm glad you decided to see reason in this. If I'm convicted, it could cause trouble for the Republic Embassy here on Manan. And none of us want that now, do we?
I hear you've been appointed. Lies! It must be! I knew the Sith would never let a Republic hero get away. You must find Sunry innocent. Find the real evidence. That's all I...
Speaking of that, simply because it was real does not mean Sunry would have overlooked it being in Elassa's hand.
It is an honor to see justice served, and I will see Sunry is executed for the crime he has committed.
The man I saw leaving, Sunry, Probably left after I heard the blaster shot.
The guilt of the accused is apparent even this early in the trial. You are Firith Me, the well-known Pazak player. I wonder if we can trust the word of a gambler as reliable testimony. Of course, Your Honor. Firith Me, what did you see the night of the murder?
Well, I came out into the hallway after hearing the blaster shot and saw Sunry over there limping down the hall out of the building.
A very obvious point, Your Honors. The accused was seen leaving the scene of the crime after the blaster that killed Elasa was fired. Glupor the Rhodian, you were staying in the hotel the night of the murder and saw Sunry leaving Elasa's room, didn't you?
Glupor King mata Sunry mulira. King kunju pashat glupor. No ba mulira set tilay kumka.
This is clear, then, that Sunry left the room with the Sith Elasa already dead behind him.
Glupor ka chopa chawa wisyun kun. Ogra shok chong kanti cha hudro. Glupor kan King David nibo ratong chitsa. Glupor tong himo majik glupor aki engko tunsit. Glupor no mulira chuni mulira tong Sunry. King ba no konik dorcha. Chuba ka chupa glupor. Chawa whisky sit.
Forgiveness.
You, Elora, are Sunry's lawful wife. Your husband was a hero in the last war between the Sith Empire and the Republic. He was crippled in that war. Do you not believe he'd blame the Sith for his injury?
Yes. I guess he would.
And there you have motive. Sunry seeks revenge on the Sith for what they did to him and killed Elasa.
He was a good man, but his injuries pained him terribly. But he always held on, always persevered. I don't think he could have beaten her or anything like that. But a blaster? I just don't know.
I wish to call forth Sunry himself. Are you a war hero, Mr. Sunry? You fought in wars against the Sith Empire.
Yes, that's right. And I don't regret it either. The Republic needs its heroes.
Indeed. Would you say that you dislike the Sith? Even hate them?
Of course I hate them. Trying to take over the galaxy every chance they get, killing millions of innocents?
Pure politics. Were you in Elasa's room on the night of the murder?
Well, yes, I was. I knew she was a Sith. And she would be trying to pump me for information, of course. So I just simply turned the tables. I was working on her, trying to turn her over to the Republic side, trying to turn her into a double agent. But that's kind of ruined now that she's been murdered.
An obviously false story. I have proof here in the form of data recording that proves you were, in fact, having an affair with Elasa.
What's the use now? I had been having an affair with Elasa, it's true. But I realized my mistake and I was going there to end it, but I did not kill her.
You were having an affair with a Sith. You wanted to end it quickly and quietly, so you killed her from behind and tried to flee.
No,
I think we can see the answer clear enough, Mr. Sunry.
I don't know. The medal had gone missing some time ago. I never found out what happened to it. It's possible the Sith had stolen it and had it planted on the body.
Supposition, Your Honors?
Yes, I think they would. They wouldn't want to lose one of their sources, even though I didn't give them anything. They might have killed her for her failure. Or they might have thought she'd turn against them or something like that.
The Sith Empire is not the barbaric institution you portray it to be. I think the facts in this case are very straightforward. Sunry was having an affair with Elasa. He sought to end it, and the simplest, quickest method, given his hatred of the Sith, was to simply kill her. Witnesses saw Sunry fleeing the scene, and material evidence places him there at the time of the murder as well. I am confident that any informed observation of the facts will lead the judges, Your Honors, to this very conclusion. Objection! Well, that doesn't mean a thing. He was there, running from the room.
Sunry, no.
No, Your Honors! I demand the death penalty!
Henry?
Got something on your mind. You defended him well enough. I wish we had time to look into matters more fully, but wishing is only useful for the young and idealistic. What's done is done. The Republic will likely appeal the matter eventually, and he'll be free. I just would like to know if that's best. Sunry was a good man once, and a good friend. I'll miss him.
You are strong, child. But I will break you.
I'll never fall to the dark side. You think torture will turn me, Malik? You're a fool.
Torture? No, dear Bastila. You misunderstand. This is but a taste of the dark side to whet your appetite. When you finally swear loyalty to me, it will be willingly.
Never.
Such resolve in your words, but I see the truth in your heart. The dark side calls to you, Bastila. You hunger to taste it. Become my apprentice, and all its power can be yours.
The Starforge. I've never seen anything like it. I'm transmitting these coordinates to Admiral Dodonna. Maybe a quick strike by the Republic can cripple the Sith fleet. Message is away. Now we can just wait for the Republic to show up. We should be safe here. We're outside their sensor range. Small vanguard of Sith fighters coming in hard. Someone needs to get on those gun turrets. Take those fighters out before they report our position to the main fleet. Incoming fighters! We've got problems. We've flown in some kind of disruptor field. All my instruments are jammed. We've got massive overloads in all systems. I'm picking up a single planet in this system. I'll try and put us down there. Hold on. This may be a rough landing.
Whew. Talk about your rough landings, Karth. What's the matter? You're flying like you've been on an all-night Teresian ale drinking binge.
That disruptor field fried our stabilizers. We're lucky we made it down in one piece. But if I can't find the salvage to make repairs, I won't even be able to get the Ebon Hawk airborne again.
During our rather rapid descent, I noticed the hulls of many crashed ships scattered across the landscape. Perhaps the parts you need can be found among the wreckage.
The KOTOR's right. This planet's a technological graveyard. I saw dozens of downed ships out there. That disruptor field must have wiped them all out. But where could it be coming from?
Even if we get the stabilizers fixed, we have to find and disable the source of that disruptor field before we can take off. Otherwise, we'll just end up crashing again. You're right. That Sith fleet we saw must have some type of protection against the disruptor field. We have to find a way to disable it, or the Republic will be slaughtered.
T3's picking up massive power fluctuations on the ship's sensors. They seem to be coming from some type of large stone structure to the east. It looks like some kind of ancient temple.
We haven't forgotten about her, but we can't do her much good stuck down here. We have to help ourselves before we can help her.
I only hope we're not too late. Bastila has been Malak's prisoner for a long time. If he can turn her to the dark side, she will join him, and the Sith will be invincible.
I fear Bastila will find the lure of the dark side difficult to resist. She is strong in the Force, but she is also impulsive, willful, and proud, as you once were, Revan. I'm glad to hear you say that. Now that you know your true identity, I was afraid you might slip back over to the dark side. If Bastila feels as you do, there may yet be hope for her.
Well, if Bastila's on the Starforge like you think, Jolie, then we can't rescue her until we disable that disruptor field. The sooner we investigate that temple to the east, the better. We can probably find the wreckage of a downed ship along the way. And if we're lucky, we can salvage some stabilizers from it to get off this planet.
I hope everything works out as smooth as you make it sound, Karth.
Well, so do I, Mission. So do I.
Kuyabi just kuna jikanai. Ina kun mama ulira raskun. Slibo patona. Hindi hanggang chipo kapi. Na boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpa marulira. Tok chingbang non kit. Tok ninja mulira rabes. Tiska du sukiku ba na bona na gachu. Ang tuwing ko tu. Topa da bungkwalya gando nago chuchut. Kabachi kuita hodonga. Yala mo inkapun. Jilowa mulira ni bobo. Wago kung bes kakang. Baba, yato ka uluan kinkuna ba mulira. Rachikun. Mucha shakpan pa. Jawana bota ayu at tahonga chakanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topat ubabatu kochi. Na boda aniwin. Kuyabi just kuna jikanai. Ina kun mamarul. Jawana bota ayu at tahonga chakanki dora. Yatuka uluan kinkuna ba murira. Rachikun. Ubabatu kochi. Jawana bota ayu at tahong ubabatu kochi. Tiska du sukiku ba na bona na gachu. Ang tuwing ko ubabatu kochi. Na boda.
What is it?
Yes?
What is it?
Yes?
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 Your wish?
Yes? Yes?
For the Republic! You will fall!
Your wish?
What?
abaton kakuchiko. Rondi haudonga kuhonga vi, wala kumbes, jengpa. Shachi kien orcha wata wama, kama volve molche kumana. Kien kunshaki, neken uno bulara jikon, wama kumbes. Rondi haudonga kuhonga vi, wala kumbes, jengpa la moliton kien pa nokonkek. Tuknin tachukun, ne molira best, tonga kunsha uneno, wanga kun biske, pamul. Takum jostak miki grabul mugu, kachichu ita haudonga, tolpa de bongwa yakando de nago jojo, moga shaponka, bola wana chekne, pamulis limo porana wanga kumbis mulera best, kachicho ita haudonga, yin kinkuno ba bulira chikun, slimo podona, ronde haudonga kuhonga bi. Takum jostak miki grabul mugu, kachichu ita haudonga, tolpa de bongwa yakando de nago jojo, moga shaponka, bola wana chekne, pamulis limo porana wanga kumbis mulera best. Takum jostak miki grabul mugu, kachichu ita haudonga, tolpa de bongwa yakando de nago jojo, moga shaponka, bola wana chekne, pamulis limo porana wanga kumbis mulera best. Tonga iwam kiki yuma linkta ag inko tu, tolpa da bongwa yakando de naga jojo, kachicho ita haudonga, yuma lita inko tu, jelomoran benu bobo, wanga kumbis kamba, molera, takum jostak miki grabul mugu, kachicho ita haudonga, tolpa de bongwa yakando de nago jojo, moga shaponka, bola wana chekne, pamulis limo porana wanga kumbis mulera best. Tonga iwam kiki yuma linkta ag inko tu, tolpa da bongwa yakando de naga jojo, kachicho ita haudonga, yuma lita inko tu, jelomoran benu bobo, wanga kumbis kamba, molera, shachi kien orcha wata wama, kama volve molche kumana. Kien kunshaki, neken uno bulara jikon, wama kumbes, chimpala mule tonerana kruta, donke serche domadon. Takum jostak miki grabul mugu, kachichu ita haudonga, tolpa de bongwa yakando de nago jojo, moga shaponka, bola wana chekne, pamulis limo porana wanga kumbis mulera best, kachicho ita haudonga, yin kinkuno ba bulira chikun, slimo podona, ronde haudonga kuhonga bi, tonga iwam kiki yuma linkta ag inko tu, tolpa da bongwa yakando de naga jojo, kachicho ita haudonga, yuma lita inko tu, jelomoran benu bobo, wanga kumbis kamba, molera. Takum jostak miki grabul mugu, kachicho ita haudonga, tolpa de bongwa yakando de nago jojo, moga shaponka, bola wana chekne, pamulis limo porana wanga kumbis mulera best. Tonga iwam kiki yuma linkta ag inko tu, tolpa da bongwa yakando de naga jojo, kachicho ita haudonga, yuma lita inko tu, jelomoran benu bobo, wanga kumbis kamba, molera. Rondi haudonga kuhonga vi, wala kumbes, jengpa la moliton king pa nokonkek. Tuknim tachukun, ne molera best, kachicho ita haudonga, yin kinkuno ba bulira chikun, slimo podona, ronde haudonga kuhonga bi, takum jostak miki grabul mugu, kachicho ita haudonga, tolpa de bongwa yakando de nago jojo, moga shaponka, bola wana chekne, Pamulis limo poranawanga kumbis mulerabest. Ita konjostak miki grabel mogo. Kachicho ita haudonga. Tolpa de bongwalia gando de nago chocho. Moga shaponka, bola wana chekne. Pamulis limo poranawanga kumbis mulerabest. Tonghai wam chichi yumalikta ag inko tu. Tolpa de bongwalia gando de nago chocho. Kachicho ita haudonga. Yumalita inko tu. Shelomoran benigo. Wango kumbis kamba, molera. Ta konjostak miki grabel mogo. Kachicho ita haudonga. Tolpa de bongwalia gando de nago chocho. Moga shaponka, bola wana chekne. Pamulis limo poranawanga kumbis mulerabest. Tonghai wam chiki yumalikta ag inko tu. Tolpa de bongwalia gando de nago chocho. Kachicho ita haudonga. Yumalita inko tu. Jelomoran benibobo. Wango kumbis kamba, molera. Tonga bunsha uneno, wanga kumpiske, bamulera, chunyon tun jiji ite tuana, gabe volpe morje gomena. Gaba tompa culpa ye, tonga bunsha uneno. Kachicho ita hodonga. Yinkin kuno ba bulira jikun. Slimo putona. Ronde haudonga kuhonga bi. Rondi haudonga kuhonga bi. Wala kumbes. Cheng pala muli ton king pa nogongek. Tukning tachokun. Ne molera best. Kachicho ita hodonga. Yinkin kuno ba bulira jikun. Slimo putona. Ronde haudonga kuhonga bi. Ta konjostak miki grabel mogo. Kachicho ita haudonga. Tolpa de bongwalia gando de nago chocho. Moga shaponka, bola wana chekne. Pamulis limo poranawanga kumbis mula tonghai wam chichi yumalikta ag inko tu. Tolpa de bongwalia. Ta konjostak miki grabel mogo. Kachicho ita haudonga. Tolpa de bongwalia gando de nago. Rondi haudonga kuhonga bi. Wala kumbe. Kachicho ita haudonga.
Ha!